Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge. More people, welcome to the National League. It's very fashionable now to actually now everyone just crash it on Arsenal and say the league's over and it's finished. Liverpool won the title already, as people know. Of course, they actually hand him the trophy against Crystal Palace next weekend. There is going to be a trophy celebration and everything, of course, next week. Man United won a game against Chelsea, and Chelsea are in disarray currently. There is half the fan base are saying that we don't trust Enzo Maresca. Pep Guardiola does his best Mourinho impression and best defensive structure I've seen in my life, of course, but at the end it didn't work. But yeah, people need to absolutely now praise Pep for changing his philosophy and be defensive with 32% ball position in a 90-minute game, right? The most attacking manager in the history of the sport is doing defensive, but yeah, it's a masterclass by him. Mikel Arteta got it wrong in the lineup with Mikel Merino. However, the plan worked. Hit that like button if you are here, guys. If you're watching this in the replay, make sure to hit that like button. Very close to actually 43,000 subs. And all the guys' channels in the description as well. Rory, K-Mac, of course, Richard's channel, of course, True City Fan, and Dan will be joining us momentarily. How is everyone feeling after this weekend?
What
Liverpool.
weekend.
Yeah, well, Liverpool are
I think relieved and happy.
You forgot what that felt like.
No, I was shocked and happy at the same time. And actually, I was thinking, I'm looking forward to talking about a win. I'd forgotten what it was like.
Winning against
I can't believe I was supporting you.
Or a Big Six team.
And listen, guys, people say that I defend Arteta. I actually released a video saying that Arteta was wrong for choosing Moreno in the beginning of the game. I'm not defending him at all. I don't think I think he managed the game well in the second half, especially with the subs early. There is news about Noni Madueke and all the stuff. But Rory, how are you feeling after the game? You walked out of the stadium disappointed?
Yeah, disappointed. Like, I definitely feel like it's 2 points dropped. I'm just not as fragile as some of our fan base who've decided that the season's over, title's over. We need to sack the manager, sack half the players, and give up on life. I thought it was an all right performance from us. I actually think people aren't even talking about the fact that a lot of our individual players didn't even play particularly well yesterday. I thought there were underwhelming performances from a number of players that have been good for us this season, and I do think Arteta got a couple of the players in the lineup wrong. And so you look at it and you go, well, there was like relief. And there was elation when the goal went in, which I think a large part of that was just relief, because I think losing that game would have been unbelievably irritating. But once that had faded, yeah, then it's like, okay, but we we were definitely a better team than Man City. We definitely could have won that game if we'd approached it differently. But that's football. I don't think anyone could have predicted that Pep Guardiola would basically deploy a tactic that he's never used in his entire career. Like I've literally never ever seen any Pep team, let alone a City team under Pep, do
It's the
that.
lowest position in his history.
Did you
of
not
his
watch the
career.
Man United game a couple weeks ago? Like last
Yeah,
week?
but there's like
Same thing in that game.
there's like sitting off and allowing a team to have the ball when you don't think there's a threat. Then there's like time wasting from basically the first minute, pretending to be injured, and then subbing on two centre backs, a right back and a CDM, and playing a 5-5-0 for the rest of the game. Like that was kind of mad to watch.
I have the pictures from the game. Actually. I'm just sending.
Yeah, at one
it to
point there was
myself.
like I saw a picture this morning. It was like a 7-3-0 formation with Haaland as one of the centre backs.
I think you probably deserve to get a goal against you when you start doing mad stuff like that.
Yeah, to be honest, it
was actually a good game.
Yeah, it's always difficult to know like what it's like for the neutral because obviously when you're there, you've got the adrenaline, and so everything feels like a big moment. But I guess as a neutral, maybe not. But no, I felt like I had no issue with the way that they played. This is the thing. I have no issue with the way that they tried to get the 3 points. And I think Guardiola came out and said after the game, like, we had to do that. Like he said, we are not good enough at the moment to play the way that we would normally play against a team like Arsenal, and that's completely fair. My issue is the hypocrisy of the reaction from people who slaughter Arteta for playing like that, but then praise Guardiola for playing like that. That's what I have an issue with, and I don't really understand.
But you shouldn't be playing
like this. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? I've never seen this. He said 10 players of City, probably only one guy outside the box.
But there's no outlet. One thing I would say from like,
I think Pep was adapting to Arsenal. We know they don't have a lot of threats going forward. They're not a very creative team. It changed dramatically when Eze and Saka came on, definitely. But why are you starting the game defensively at home? I don't get that.
He wasn't okay. That is
the start of the game. He was the first half. 3 CDMs. What are you doing?
No. How was that defensive? Maybe the lineup in the middle.
There was no creativity in that starting lineup.
Yeah. Creativity.
There was no service to Gyökeres at all. He might as well have not been on the pitch.
Creativity is so different than starting the game defensive. Starting the game defensive means leave the ball to City, have a low block or a mid block. Arsenal from minute one were trying to press all across the pitch. Arsenal had even before the goal, Arsenal had the ball all the time. Arsenal were the team that were trying to score from minute one. You can criticize the choice of Mikel Merino. You can criticize that. The word defensive, I would say the wrong word to use here. It's the wrong word to use.
Mo, you're playing Zubimendi, Moreno, and Declan Rice. They're all defensive. They're all defensive.
Why are you doing that?
I actually disagree with Moreno.
They're not grinders, are they? They're not bombing forwards. They're not trying
Moreno. Okay, let me just say that Moreno is not a DM. Moreno is not a DM. He's not a creative midfielder, but he's not a DM, right? I'm not defending that choice. I thought that Eze should start the game, especially the new guy coming in. I thought that he should start the game. Tactically, Mikel Arteta approached the game wanting to be on the front foot from minute one, right? From minute one. That is the reality. We saw it. The position stats show that. Where the ball was, say that. How Madueke was trying to dribble. We saw that. The problem happens when there is no creativity for Gyökeres, who is out of the game completely. And I don't know when will Arsenal play to his strength. I don't know. You signed the striker and you're not playing to his strength at all. They didn't have combination
all season too. I knew that signing a striker was going to be a tough adjustment for them because they're just not used to it, and we're seeing it. Like they lack the quality to like consistently get him the ball. I don't think Eze is really. I think he's.
Why is that, guys? Why is that, guys?
I don't think we do. I don't think we do. I mean, we've started the season. We've missed Bukayo Saka for most of it. We've missed Ødegaard now for a chunk of it. I agree. I think Eze should have started yesterday. I also think, for me, Trossard was actually more of a mistake than Marino was. I understood the logic behind Marino because I think the logic was keep it tight. We can score goals with that midfield three anyway. but keep it tight. City are going to tire. We know that they've been complaining as it was about the lack of time between Thursday and Sunday. And then you've got a huge amount of talent to bring off the bench to score goals. So I think that was the plan. My issue was more
bench yesterday.
Sorry?
Who was coming off of that bench yesterday to score a goal?
Eze,
Saka,
Martinelli.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant my bench. My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
I misconstrued what you said. My bad.
No, your bench. Well, that's the thing, right?
I think that was kind of it. I was just like,
was that if we kept it tight until the final 30, for example, I think we had a lot more to bring off the bench than City. So I kind of got that. Whatever, that's by the by. The Trossard thing, like, if there's one thing City consistently struggle with, it's dealing with pace in transition, particularly on Diaz's side of the defence. Whichever side Diaz is on, they've struggled with that. And so not having Martinelli or using Martinelli's pace, I thought was a strange one. But yeah, overall, I just think, I do think we have creativity. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've got the highest goal difference in the league right now. So we've not had that much of an issue scoring goals. In the bigger games we have, and that is where I think it's a combination of two things. One thing I think is that Gyökeres is being asked to do everything that Kai Havertz has always been asked to do. And I think that takes away from what he's best at. And I think it's a big, big adjustment for him to suddenly have to be thinking about all of these things Arteta wants him to do off the ball, all of the pressing that he's asked to do, the way that he's asked to press. I think that's a lot to take on board. And physically, I think it's a lot to handle. And I think that means that he's not as focused or able to focus as much on doing just what he does best. So, yeah, I think that's been a problem. But then, was Gyökeres brought in to be scoring in these games? Like, obviously, you'd hope so, but no. Scoring in the smaller games was really why I think he was brought in. And it's been unfortunate that we lost.
Guys, by the way, I actually didn't know. Someone just told me that I made the finals for the Football Content Creators Award. I actually had no idea.
Congratulations.
Motor win.
I actually didn't know that I made the final, actually. Kate just texted me in the group and said that I made the final of the Content Creators Award. And I'm like, what?
Get your suit out, mate. Get your suit on.
Go. Wait, is that in the UK or in America?
It's the Football Content Creator Award that is held in the UK. I don't know where it is.
Motor London.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
At least you can't ship 5 goals in that final, Moat.
Oh,
fuck off now.
No, I'm buzzing for you. I think it's well deserved.
That was pretty loud.
Actually, better not come second, yeah. Better not come fifth. That'll be hilarious. Come fifth.
Who's if there's an Arsenal fan nominated, I'm sure they'll.
I don't know.
Plan it so they come second. Just
it's
to make it go
Andy Stone, Attacking Football, Azora, Diego Crespo, Footy Social Club, Freddy Footy, Football by Nikita, Headers and Volley, London Original, Soccer Donna, the Football Hipster, the Pitchside IE, and the United Stand. I don't know.
I'm literally not subscribed to anybody there apart from you.
I've heard of the United Stand.
I'm not subscribed to the United Stand.
I have heard of, actually. They're massive. Okay.
No, actually, maybe in the chat, people go vote for me then because they say the voting is open.
Do it.
So maybe go vote for me then. Maybe.
Put the link in the chat.
I don't know where it is, but do you think he texted, he emailed me? I don't know. I was informed in a group chat.
No.
I actually was informed in a group chat, so I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, going back.
Can I just say one thing?
Let me read this one. If Arsenal were defensive, where did lose the ball for the Haaland goal? In Manchester City's half.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? We literally, the opening 10 minutes, we completely suffocated City. And then we concede the goal because Calafiori's made it all the way to the byline to put the cross in. And we've left 2 at the back. So, yeah, I don't think the creativity thing, I think is a point with Marino. You're lacking a bit of creativity there. The idea that it was negative and defensive, I think is wrong because the way that we were playing was not negative or defensive. So that's
okay. What is this? Why? Go ahead, Matt. You wanted to say something. So, look, you want to say something, Matt? Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to get my head around is, okay, so you're a team that's supposed to be challenging for the league. Yeah. You've signed all these players and you don't play your best team. You don't play your best team against Liverpool for a start, and you don't play your best team against Manchester City, who are predominantly your rivals. That's it. Like you bought Gyökeres to basically batter all the lower teams. That's what you bought him for. but you've now dropped 5 points against your rivals. That's the bit I can't get my head around. Like, why are you playing your weaker team against the big guns? Like, Liverpool played the best team against their rivals. Like, that's what we do. Like, that just makes sense. Like, but you don't play Eze, and you don't
the best
play
team we had available yesterday.
You don't play Martinelli, who basically got a fire under his belly now because he's got someone who's fighting for his position.
Saka didn't play because he'd been out for 4 weeks with a hamstring injury,
and that
we
makes
didn't even
sense.
think he was. We didn't even think he was going to be back.
Still playing.
Well, okay, and then he gets injured again. I think that
put Isaac on for 60 minutes against Atletico Madrid because it's probably one of our hardest games.
But Isak wasn't injured. Isak had just been unfit because he'd been on strike.
Doesn't matter. We still played him. Like, a lot of people are saying we shouldn't play him.
That's different than being injured.
No, you don't throw someone that's just had a hamstring injury off the back of a season where he'd had a really serious hamstring injury.
But
he's been out for 4 weeks.
A million times in a million other games.
And look at what it led to. It led to him tearing his hamstring. Like that. I'm not going to argue that. Well, Eze, I kind of agree. But then Arteta's maybe looking at it going, Eze has never played in midfield for Arsenal. He's never played on the right side of midfield, really, for Palace either. Do I want to throw him into that against City? Or do I want to play it a little bit safer? And he played it a bit safer. And it didn't work out. But
that's why you lose the league then. You just said it. You literally just said the words.
There we go. We've lost the league then. We'll just stop making content for the next 9 months. Wrap it up.
No, but that's what it's going to boil down to, isn't it? If you play safe, then you probably don't get the
if Haaland doesn't score that goal, which has nothing to do with us playing safe, and if anything, Haaland scoring that goal comes from the fact that we
didn't bring on any.
Haaland scores that goal because we've overcommitted, right? We leave ourselves with 2 at the back because we've overcommitted. That's not being safe because we're attacking and we've left ourselves overcommitted. If Haaland doesn't score that goal,
to say, yeah, that's very true.
If Haaland doesn't score that goal,
Matt, they literally pushed. They pushed with 9 players. That is the definition of committing forward and committing to press and committing to get the ball back. Imagine if Liverpool do this, right, and push 9 players to get the ball. You would say that is overcommitted. People would say, actually,
that's what we keep on doing.
But yes, but I would say that yesterday, Arsenal actually in that goal, if you watch the goal back, actually they overcommitted players forward, and they normally don't do this. Arsenal are the best team in the world in recovery to shape, but they committed so many players that it was so hard to actually recover. And that's why they had 3-on-2 Man City. You never see Arsenal 3-on-2 at the back or 2-on-1. Never ever happens, K-Man. So your statement is by definition for the game yesterday is wrong. I'm sorry. I mean it with all respect, that. But I mean it with all the respect. The statement that Arsenal were cautious yesterday in terms of tactics is utterly wrong. 100% wrong. You're not telling me that Arsenal are standing on a halfway line and you're telling me that they were cautious. It is impossible to make that statement and watch the game and think that Arsenal were cautious. If anyone was cautious yesterday, it's Pep Guardiola, who actually played 4 center backs at the back and played midfielders that were defending in his 18.
Creative midfielder. Nico O'Reilly is not a center back.
My point about it is, you know that. Okay, let me tell you something. Yesterday, when do you see Guardiola, guys? When do you see? And let's talk football. When have you ever seen Pep Guardiola asking his midfielders to sprint to double on a winger? He normally trusts his fullbacks to defend 1-on-1. He asked Bernardo Silva to sprint every time Madueke got the ball to create a 2-on-1. Every time. That is the definition of cautious. That's what we sometimes criticize Arteta for and say, you ask Martinelli and Saka to defend deep and help your fullbacks. Well, Pep Guardiola did that yesterday. The fact that Arsenal didn't win yesterday, that is the talking point. It is not, and the Moreno thing, it is not his approach to the game. It's not him being defensive. As people label Arsenal defensive yesterday is nothing short of just so wrong. So wrong in your analyzing of the game. It is unbelievable. Because Arsenal were so attacking yesterday that actually left them vulnerable at the back to Doku and Haaland. That is what happened in the game. City prevented Arsenal from creating chances. And Arsenal failed to create enough chances in the first half. They failed. Right? Can Arteta fix that? I don't know. And also, I want to ask people something. Guys, big up everyone that joined us from Hassan channel. Guys, make sure to hit that like button, guys, because we're not even on 100 likes yet. So hit that like button, people. Come on. I'm going to ask Rory. I'm going to ask the rest something. Maybe Dan can come in for this. You're watching the game yesterday, and someone put that tweet. I woke up and I saw that tweet. He said, Arsenal lost points to City and Liverpool. Is that the end? Losing to your two title rivals, one of them is at Anfield, or Arsenal can still win about 30 games this season. 30 games against 15 teams. They smashed Forest, they smashed Leeds, they went away at Old Trafford, which is they haven't done in years. That's 9 points. They lost points to City at home. Well, City won multiple league titles. Draw into Arsenal, didn't they? And draw into Liverpool at home. Isn't that happened? Years.
Yeah, back when our team was better.
Exactly. So the whole point is, the question is, so Arsenal losing 2 points to City at home when City were so defensive. If that was the other way around and Arsenal went to the Etihad and defended and City got an equalizer at the end, would people say that the league is over?
Well, I think it's a different scenario because those City teams, we knew we were better than what we are right now. Like,
Okay, so why is
I don't think Arsenal are.
Do you believe Arsenal are a
don't think
good
they're
team?
there yet.
Do people believe that Arsenal are a good team that can win against 15 out of the 19 teams they play? Yes or no? Mac has always said that to me since the beginning of the season. Yeah. Mac, you come on this channel all the time. You're one of the Liverpool fans that say Arsenal will win tons of games this season.
Yeah.
Right? So drawing against City, yes, might be like, oh my God, it's shit. Oh, you lost 2 points. But it doesn't mean that Arsenal will lose against Fulham or will draw against Brentford. That doesn't mean that. It doesn't.
I think the difference is that Arsenal were at home. And so when you want to win a title, you have to win that game at home against your
you
rivals.
don't. No, you don't.
I
Liverpool,
think you do. I think you have to.
You won the title.
I think accepting a draw on the road is.
But no one said they accepted the draw.
A different story. You still need to go for the win, but you can accept a draw. But I think
they did go for the win.
Team that hasn't won a title in 20 years, and you get a weak City team, you need to have the mindset to beat them at home. If you're trying to catch Liverpool, you're trying to get to 3 points behind them.
But you are building this on a false narrative that Arsenal didn't try to go for the win. They did.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did when they sat Eze. I don't think they did. I think when you start the game with that lineup, you're not trying to.
Can I just say something about Arsenal?
You need to throw everything you have available that's ready and fit to play.
But he did for 45 minutes. He played 5 forward.
I get that, but Eze needed to start that game,
and he didn't. Okay.
I think a lot of people scrutinised it because 2 years ago, I think Arsenal, if they'd have beaten City, would have won the league. I think that's what people are looking at because fans that have watched, say, when you have 2 dominant teams, we might have 3 this season. It comes down to like Liverpool are probably going to win most games, Mo. Like I think the rest of the panel will accept that. So who's going to be taking points off Liverpool? It's up to Arsenal to do it. If they want to win the league title, they have to take points off Liverpool. Who's going to be stopping City win the league? If Arsenal want to win the league, they have to stop City. When Manchester United were in a title race with Arsenal, it came down to those key games because Manchester United and Arsenal were levels above everybody else. The game against Arsenal was pretty much deciding the season. Like that's why the Arsene Wenger Fergie rivalry was so aggressive because that was decided everything. It didn't really matter about I know there's 36 other games, but Arsenal win most of them, United win most of them, and it comes down to Arteta's effectively got to win a couple of games.
He's hit the nail on the head there, by the way. That game at Anfield reminded me of one of those classics where it just took something.
I'm going to ask you guys something for real.
And that normally starts the league.
Would people say, okay, so are City out of the title race for everyone here on the panel?
Yeah.
I don't think we are.
Yeah.
I don't think they're good enough.
It's September.
But they're not out of it. But I don't think they're good enough.
It's September.
He needs to win that game.
We're getting better I think we're going to get better as the season progresses. So
I mean, this is. I'm
not going to say we're going to win the title, but I think we're going to contend for it.
If you say City are out of the title race, then you're crazy for ruling them out. But then the same people say Arsenal are out of the title race, even though Arsenal have got more.
That was my question. You read my mind. I was going to ask that following question.
They're in the race, but they're not favourites, are they?
In relation
do you remember the game when Arsenal were winning They had a player sent off. City equalised right at the end. This game for me had the same issues where in that match, Arsenal had no outlet. They tried to defend for too long. And I think City, they effectively had no outlet. But you saw a picture there where there's like 10 men behind the ball. When they won it, we're talking about 60 minutes in, City players just kicking the ball out of play. They're not playing the ball. They're not trying to relieve pressure. They're just kicking the ball long. There was no, for me,
minute 60.
Was like,
key word, minute 60.
60 minutes. And I was saying, I was doing a watch long, which I was regretting because I didn't really like the teams. And I was getting frustrated with the speed. Arsenal, I'm not saying Arsenal didn't try to win, but the build-up is so slow. I was getting frustrated watching it. But I know possession, etc. But I thought Arsenal could have been moving the ball a bit quicker, maybe varying the attack, always going down the right.
Now we talk about the football. Now you're talking about the football, which is, I like this. Rory, you were going to say something about that.
You know, I think that as an Arsenal fan, down the right, when we saw the two most dangerous moments for me, instead of putting the ball into the centre-backs in the middle, which was very easy for City to defend, they were heading it out all day. When it was played across low, I think the ball ended up at Haaland's feet by luck. And I was thinking, just keep doing that because that could have gone anywhere. And then you scored a goal by varying the attack, going straight over the top, more direct, and it caused problems. And a fantastic finish, but you just didn't create chances. But you were being too repetitive for too much of the match. And I think that was for me. I was looking at it thinking, do something different, Arsenal. And when you did, those two occasions, one was almost a goal, bit of luck that Haaland had it by his feet, and the other one was the goal. So for me, I think Arteta, maybe it's a strategy. I do get the feeling that Arsenal are almost like too robotic, where it's like they're doing drill after drill after drill of the same moves. And as a fan, I'm just thinking, just do something different because as a defender, you think, right, what's going to happen? You know where it's going to go. It's so predictable. It must be easier to defend.
Yeah, I mean, I think to that point, it's easier said than done to break down the most expensive team in the Premier League on the highest wage bill who are playing a back seven. I think that's, it is difficult. Yeah. And to be honest,
I agree that.
We're playing Chelsea.
The goal that we scored is actually, it was the first time City had really made a mistake in terms of the way that they were playing in the second half. It was the first time, and it was such a weird time for them to do it. It was the first time they'd really suddenly committed to playing an offside line again. Like they hadn't, they'd been dropping off.
That against Manchester United, do you remember?
No, I'm saying in yesterday's game. Yeah, no, they
do that
because they're not used to it, right? And that is one thing. Like they're generally not used to defending in that way, and I think they switched off, and that gave us the opportunity. And obviously, it's well taken by Martinelli. But back to the previous point, like in 23-24, we beat City at home, drew away, and we beat Liverpool at home and drew away, and we didn't win the league. City won the league. So the idea that if you drop 5 points against your title rivals, you can't win the league. City literally did it against us in 23-24. And we'd done the same thing to Liverpool as well. So, we didn't lose to Liverpool last season in the league either. We took, whatever it is, however many points off them. I think it will come down to the games that aren't against each other. I think that's generally where Pep Guardiola's won one game at Anfield in the Premier League. So I think people overestimate the importance of these games. I do think obviously it was a blow losing the game at Liverpool rather than drawing at Anfield, but it will come down to the run-of-the-mill games, right? And where we've dropped points previously is where it's hurt us. When we've drawn to West Ham and Fulham and Everton, they're the games that hurt us, not drawing.
Was there a lot of criticism about Arteta for the Liverpool defeat? Because for me, that was a very even game, just decided by one moment of quality. And like, if you're criticising the manager, I'm not sure what
yeah, but more open. It's largely the same people that criticise. There's a section of our fan base now that and they get swayed by the media who turn everything into it's all Arteta's fault and Arsenal crap. But yeah, there was criticism that we didn't go for it at Anfield, and again, this whole if you want to win the league, you have to win away at your title rivals, even though statistically, I think 7 out of the 30 odd Premier League winners won away at their title rivals during that season. So
but when you're on top of teams, he doesn't follow through. Like he's still defense minded. Like that's the criticism. The criticism when you've got a team under the cosh.
But again, I think this is where people confuse. I think this is where people confuse.
Sorry, Rory. False. The reason why, Matt, with Arteta. I'm sorry, Rory. I'm sorry to interject, but I need to put this out there. You cannot put that statement out when in the second half he took out a center back, put in a forward in minute 60. When he actually, at 45 minutes, pulled out Moreno, put out Eze, an attacking midfielder. When he actually threw the kitchen sink early in the second half. So he was on top of the game. So he was trying to get a draw. I'm just going to put this out there. A cautious manager would actually wait until minute 75, fearing the second goal from City, but he didn't. That is where people analyze football games based on a preconceived idea that you say, in this game, I thought Arteta was very brave in the second half. Minute 45, very brave.
But he had to be. He's losing.
But that is, again, is what you just said. No. A lot of managers. I had manager coaching my club.
Nobody wasn't on top of the game in the first half, Mo. So, what's the point there?
How wasn't he on top of the game?
You're on top in your game, and you're all over the opposition, and you can see there's blood there. Then you take it. If you want to win something, you want to be a winner, which he clearly isn't. But if you want to be a winner, then you take that opportunity. Whether you lose or not is irrelevant. At least you had a go, but you didn't have a go, and he didn't.
But he did. Okay, to be honest with you, man, you are building. You're building your conclusion based on something that is not true.
Though. That's what makes winners. That's what makes your team.
But he did. Okay, I can't just keep arguing.
No, but the fans, his own fans understand that now. They're starting to understand it.
No, you cannot. Okay. By the way, I'm gonna let Rory talk, and I want to hear what Dan thinks about the game as well. I'm gonna say this, guys. Yesterday, everyone criticized Arteta for the selection, right? I saw no one actually saying that. Okay, finally he made the changes at 45 minutes. Finally, he threw the kitchen sink early, being only 1-0 down, where normally he would make subs at the minute 70, minute 75, right? Nobody praising that. Theo Walcott
losing the game. He's losing the game.
So what did you want him to do? Can I ask you something? What did you want him? And he did. Did he do it? Okay.
Did he decided? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to do something different.
Did he do it? Did he do it or not?
No, but
yes.
Well, it took a mistake to tie the game.
Go ahead, Rory.
He pushed the game to win, didn't he? The game plan was to win, not lose.
Okay, let me hear what Rory has to say about this.
Yeah, I just think, firstly, I've not really seen Arteta do that previously. I think that is a good development that he was willing to make those subs at halftime. People could definitely accuse him of stubbornness in the past, where he'd stick to a starting 11 for at least the first 60 minutes before making a change. And then the big one for me was Martinelli on for Timber, because whenever we used to be chasing games, he still wouldn't sacrifice a defender for an attacker. He'd bring on fresh attackers, maybe sacrifice a defensive midfielder, but not a defender. So that was good. Back to the previous point, I really think people get wrapped up in lineup versus how the team actually sets up to play. So you say, Marino's a defensive midfielder, but he's playing alongside Gyökeres for most of the game. And he's not a defensive midfielder. I mean, if you look at his entire career, he's never, ever been a defensive midfielder. That's just, you've not watched Mikel Merino before. But the point is, it's the way that you play. And so you talk about the mentality. When Arsenal played Liverpool at Anfield the other week, people said, but Liverpool tried to win because they played Florian Wirtz. But how did they actually play? Because they weren't relentlessly attacking Arsenal by any stretch of the imagination. And if it wasn't for a 1 in 100 strike from a long-range free kick going in, you'd have drawn that game at home. And everything that you've just thrown at Mikel Arteta in terms of not being a winner, not going for it, would apply to Liverpool in that situation. But a 1 in 100 free kick goes in, so then it changes. Well,
there was only one team trying to win that game in the second half at Anfield, and it was Liverpool.
I don't think either team were. It wasn't like we were under any sort of barrage.
There was only one team that was trying to win that game in the second half, and it was Liverpool. Arsenal were literally trying to play for corners and kicking the ball from their goalkeeper.
Doing that all yesterday too. That was their game plan to play for
the whole of the second half.
Yeah,
actually,
why not
play for something
you regularly score on?
For corners all day.
Guys, we're not. To be honest with you, this show is. I like this show. It's one of the. I don't want us. I do. Sometimes I do this as well. I can't build a conclusion based on a false narrative. I can't say false statements and just build conclusions on them, right? Arsenal in the second half at Anfield, Liverpool forced them a little bit off the ball, right? It doesn't mean that Arsenal were not trying to actually win the game, especially if you say that were Liverpool anti-football in the first half, or Arsenal were the team that created the most chances, had better. Liverpool had 0 touches in the first 30 minutes in the opposition's half.
Yeah.
Do I have to sit here and say that Liverpool were negative? I can't say that.
No,
Maybe
we
sometimes
we were comprehensively played well against. Like, I'm not going to sit here and deny it. Like, Arsenal were brilliant at Anfield first half, but you didn't score.
And
Right, so then your analysis is purely based on just the fact that we didn't score rather than how we actually approached the game. And that's where you can't apply that to Arteta being negative versus Liverpool.
You can go for more. You had Eze on the bench. Like, make a change. Like, change things up.
Did he bring Eze on?
Did that at half time? Or are you talking about the game at Anfield?
Yeah, talk about the game at Anfield.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't. But
okay, so the game at Anfield.
I don't want to go back to the game at Anfield, but fine.
No, but I want to go back to it. So Arsenal, in the game at Anfield, Arsenal bought on Eze, Ødegaard, Max Dowman, and Mosquera. Liverpool bought on Curtis Jones, Joe Gomez, Endo, and Chiesa. So you made more defensive substitutions than Arsenal did in that game.
Why did we bring on Joe Gomez? There must have been a reason.
79th minute, you brought Joe Gomez on.
Oh, okay.
61st minute, you brought on Curtis Jones.
By the way, it's 79th minute, even before the goal you scored. So
that's before the goal. Before the goal, they brought Joe Gomez on. By the way, before the goal, Arsenal brought on Eze and Martin Ødegaard. This is what I'm saying. People set up an agenda in their head that is not based on
Canate had cramp. Canate got injured.
Yeah, so it was an injury.
Right. But you didn't bring on the big offensive substitutions to try and win the game. That's what I'm saying. There was everything you're saying Arteta should have done. Liverpool didn't do that at Anfield. And were it not for a worldy free kick that you cannot rely on or plan for, it would have ended a draw. And you left Elliott and Ngumoa both on the bench. So, you know, I think it's very results based. Very results based. And I don't think that works. Personally.
Okay, can we? I want to switch a little bit. But let me read the super chat. Instead of saying we were defensive, say we lack creativity. Simple logic. Stop this defensive agenda, people. I will make it my job on YouTube to actually change that narrative that I believe is false. That Arteta is a negative coach when he is a defensive coach. You can say he's a control freak. You can say he lacks the attributes to create an open play. Defensive coaches is, like David Moyes, are coaches that defend from minute one, that approach games actually defensive, right? It's my job to actually say what I believe. And I'm going to keep pushing against this narrative unless Arteta goes to Fulham game defensive, Brentford game defensive, Crystal Palace game defensive. If he does this, I will call him defensive. But he's not a defensive coach. He just lacks the creativity in creating chances in open play. He lacks that. Maybe Eze will change that. Also, people that say that Arteta is cautious, I hear you. He's cautious. So why was Madueke every game now I watch him, he's attempting 5 to 6 dribbles and a half? Why? Isn't that
plays?
No. Isn't that the definition of a manager asking people to go at the opposition instead of playing the
system? That's the system where Saka plays. Saka always gets the ball.
No, there's a difference.
No. I don't think you heard what I'm saying. Normally, Saka would get the ball. If there's 2 defenders, he would do the triangle pass back and it goes to the other side and it comes back and all this stuff, right? Lately, we've been watching Arsenal. I've been saying this for now the last 2 weeks. I'm saying, I am actually surprised that every time Madueke gets the ball, his first instinct is to dribble.
Yeah, even if that's always been Noni's first instinct,
which is great. But I saw that Arteta, Dan, which is great. I thought that Arteta would actually give him the instructions like, no, you have to play the way we play. Pass back, control the game, be safe, don't try to dribble, don't try to be adventurous, which is what people accuse Arteta for.
Maybe that's why Arteta and Arsenal believe that he was worth the money they paid for him, because it was something different they needed in their side.
I think it's
Probably
also
his own product.
He still does blind alleys and doesn't get anywhere.
Yeah, but I think
Okay, guys.
You can moan about the end product.
Now
and
you
everything,
moved. Now you move to the next point. What Danny's point is, maybe Arteta's trying to change his approach from his wingers by having the Ezes and the Maduekes.
Well, I actually just think he had a number of players that were quite similar to each other. I think that's probably more what it was. He had a number of players that didn't have the direct thought process or instinctual attitude that Noni's got when he gets on the ball. I think Noni knows he's going to go straight towards the byline, straight to the goal. He'll take on his man. That's his instinct. Whereas I don't think that's Saka's first thought all the time, even though I think he's likely to do it. I think the same with Trossard a little bit. Martinelli, I don't think he's going to go one-on-one as much as Noni is. Noni, in the league, actually, is a bit of an anomaly. I think you don't get too many wingers like Noni, and in the sense that he'll sort of take a player on before looking to retain the ball, which I think's been a massive thing with wingers in a number of different teams. Is they'll retain the ball before they take the risk, and I think Noni is the opposite, to be honest with you. And I think that's something that's needed in this Arsenal team, because we saw so many times last season that you drew 14 games. Probably because you didn't take the risk in situations. And I think that's probably why the value was put on Noni's head at that much, and people weren't sure why, but I think we're starting to see.
I think it's very possible. It seems like people don't, I don't know, even consider the fact that Arteta may be looking to change this season and may have changed his approach this season. And it's not just Madueke. Eze's the same. Gyökeres is definitely the same. These players that try and force things to happen, and the way that they've been allowed to play has changed as well. You look at, the second goal that we scored against Nottingham Forest, Calafiori straight over the top into Eze, no messing around. Eze straight across into Gyökeres. The goal yesterday, Eze sees an opportunity to go over the top, he takes it straight away. I think we are trying to be more direct. I think it takes time. When you've absolutely drilled a way of playing into a team for 2-3 years, it takes time to then adjust to actually know we can take more chances on the ball. And I think we're seeing that. So, yeah, again, yesterday, and we saw a lot. How often yesterday did we see the ball get spread to Madueke far more quickly, where previously it would have taken, from one side of the pitch to the other, it would have taken 3 passes to hoop its way around to Madueke. It was a first-time ball out to Madueke. Like, I do think we're improving there. It just isn't perfect yet.
If Arsenal were not 1-0 down, you could have defended Ultra, but they didn't, JJ. You're assuming, but they didn't. So
I
it's
think
an assumption.
Arsenal probably started a bit slower than City, but from probably just after the goal, I felt like Arsenal were in the.
I disagree. I thought opening 10 minutes, I thought City had absolutely nothing. I thought the goal came out completely out of nowhere.
Actually, factually, Dan, the stats on the eye shows that City were under the cosh from minute 1.
City had the share of the momentum for the first 5 minutes. So from minute 6, Arsenal then had it.
Really?
For pretty much most of the game.
We just gave possession up.
City had some chances. City had some chances.
Maybe first few minutes, but I think before the goal, the sort of 5-10 minutes before the goal, Arsenal were pretty much controlling things. I think when I was saying about frustration to the Arsenal fan about the speed,
goal came in minute 8.
The speed between the goalkeeper and defence was quite slow, but I think once you got through midfield, you did progress quite quickly. But again, because I'm impatient sometimes watching football, it's just a passing between the defence. Maybe you're waiting for the best opportunity, and when you think, okay, now is a good time. I did think actually we're a bit more direct. But I think again, this idea that he set up defensively is incorrect. I think what's happened really is you got caught on the break. It was a good finish, and it's like the one move City had. They took it well, and it's just unlucky that Haaland outpaced the people quite easily. And maybe the goalkeeper could have done a bit more with a shot. It looked like Haaland just passed it in. It was like quite an easy finish. But I think after that, though, there's possession stats for me, Mo. I think they become quite meaningless. It's like Manchester United have more possession against Arsenal when we're losing 1-0. Arsenal don't need to score. City don't need to score. So again, they let Arsenal have more possession. So I think possession stats don't really tell the true story of the game. I think Arsenal, though, the way they set up, I think people will look at the result, won't they, and go, right, Arsenal, they should have played more attacking. But again, they've almost just been caught up by one thing, haven't they? Like, usually Arsenal are pretty solid at the back. When you win the ball, they've got they've got people back to play through. I don't know what actually happened, because I haven't rewatched it, but it just seemed that maybe a misplaced pass, interception. Suddenly, it was just it was a bit like the goal we conceded against City. You lose the ball and think, what the hell's going on? Suddenly, there's absolutely no cover at all, and it did look quite easy.
It was Calafiori bombed forward, put a cross in, The cross then got headed out, looped up in the air, kind of fell to Haaland, and then there was a bit of a basically
like a bit
he
of a
ended up with a
ricochet where you think, oh, okay, it drops to the wrong plane. You think, right, it's just unlucky a bit. But
to be honest, my frustration with that was I thought it was naive from Arsenal not to just bring Haaland down at that point. Take a booking, take him down. I thought Gabriel could have done it.
That could have been a red card, though.
In midfield, just take a yellow.
No, we had two.
Is he going to risk a red if he's the last man?
You're going to get a red.
We had Saliba and we had Saliba back, so it wouldn't have been a red. I felt like that was probably.
If he's the last man, then yeah, it would have been a red.
No, this was outside the City box.
Didn't Reinders run like 40 yards?
Yeah,
so Johnny and Haaland broke together, and Foden got to Johnny.
He just ran 40
Guys,
yards.
do you know what Arsenal did? Arsenal tried to actually get the ball back, and they just didn't work. Haaland played out of that press, because if you watch the picture, if you watch that goal, there were 4 Arsenal players allowing Haaland. Haaland was able to squeeze it in between them, 2 Reinders, and then he made the run. Arsenal were trying to do the best Pep impression by getting the ball as soon as they lost it, but it just didn't work out. It didn't work because Arsenal are not the team that do this. Arsenal normally, when they lose the ball, they go back in shape. That's the defensive.
Exactly. That's the one thing I was saying. Normally they're ready, aren't they? They lose the possession. Like we had this issue where we had loads of touches, but Arsenal had people back in position. That's why I was surprised. I was watching it thinking, what's happened here? And also,
it's changed. Haaland, so he actually approached the game different, Rich.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's what I keep saying.
Well, that's not going to happen again now, is it? He'll go back to defensive now. Even worse.
I don't think so. I think to be honest with you, one of the things that I really need to watch is how he's going to approach the Newcastle game away at St. James's Park, because Arsenal haven't had a shot on target at St. James's Park for a bit now, right? And he knows that if Liverpool play before him and win against Crystal Palace and be 18 points out of 18, he actually need to approach the game the right way against Newcastle. And it's a very tricky trip because Newcastle are not in the best place. They just drew the game that they played over the weekend against Bournemouth. They drew against Leeds. Newcastle are not racking up the points currently. I'm waiting to see how Arteta approaches the game against Newcastle. Is he going to go forward? By the way, guys, there is actually news about Noni Madueke actually doing his ACL. We don't know how true is that.
No, he's not.
That's good.
Damn.
Someone actually just texted me, told me that, Rory. I don't know how true that is. No. Someone texted me.
So there was a rumor going around this morning that he had done his ACL. From what I've heard, he's not done his ACL. They don't know exactly how bad it is yet, but they're not expecting it to be anything more than 8 weeks. So
okay, fair enough. That's good enough.
Still isn't ideal because he's still back
with Havertz. There was like rumors that he was injured, and then everyone said he wasn't, and he actually was.
Yeah, the Havertz one was
the
Havertz one was a bit different though. They're keeping that under the cosh because it happened in training when it should never have happened.
Guys, can we get the likes up, guys? There's about 700 people in the house, and we're only on 130 likes. We cannot do what we did yesterday, guys. 300 likes is minimum. Let me do the super chat so we can move on. You can be cautious with the high line, scared to lose the ball. Yes, Sean, and that is normally what Arsenal do. But I saw yesterday players trying to dribble, which is normally not what Arsenal do. Sean. Jay is saying Arteta started this midfield thinking City was going to come at them, but Pep changed the style, which forced Arsenal to attack because they are the home team. Maybe. Because he said that in the press. By the way, Pep said that we were forced actually off the ball.
I guess Pep
only had 3 shots on goal.
Are you not on the spectrum? Arsenal playing for corners to score them.
Kind of a messed up thing to say. Don't ask if someone's on the spectrum.
I don't know what that means, but anyway.
Like autistic, like.
Let me know then.
Yeah.
Anyway, I take it as people saying that, are we crazy? Arsenal playing for corners to score them. And by the way, guys, Inter are the best team in the world now.
Why is it perceived to be negative to be good at corners? Like, why is being good at set pieces?
I'll tell you why.
They need to be better from open play, but to criticize.
It's good in tournament ball, but.
You know, I was going to say, I watched Man United go about a year without scoring from a corner. I'd love to see a few more set pieces than my team, but I think it's like. I just think it's like it's a weird thing to criticize a team for. If you're good at that, that's great. That's an extra bonus, isn't it? And again, in tough games, in close games, it can help you. But no, I think you should look at saying like create more from open play, not like.
Rory, what were you going to say about this?
I'm 100%. By the way, like you play to your best strengths. Like if you
I think it's only being seen massively as a negative because it's Arteta and Arsenal that are doing it. When other teams,
I think it's like a slight dig at them saying they're not creating goals in open play.
But that's a different argument. I think saying, to play for a corner, you've got to be at the opposition's end of the pitch, right? So you've got to be attacking them to win a corner in the first place. And B, if you're scoring lots from them, I don't understand what the problem with it is. And C, I swear Chelsea this season, half of their winning goals have come from set pieces.
In one game, though, I think we scored 3 against West Ham.
Yeah, and there was another game, was there not, where you scored a goal from a corner, winning goal from a corner? Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, I just think,
It's just like another thing,
there was actually. I think we got 4
goals. We apparently bought a set piece coach. I don't know what he's doing. Like that's a couple of years ago. Like it got brought one in as a specialist because we were so awful at defending and attacking like set pieces. But I think it's just a bonus to the game, isn't it? Like, if you want to win the title in close games, it could help. Right, okay.
There's such a snobbery towards the ugly side of the game, and I just don't get it because if it wins you points...
Do you imagine like if we beat Arsenal, we equalise with Arsenal with like some like deflected rubbish shot or a set? No one cares. Like no one cares. I don't care that we beat.
Keith Andrews got absolutely
10 men. It's like a win
day for Brentford using the long throw, and he come out and said, "Why would I not use it? I was
it works for them.
Team." Yeah, it works. I was in teams where it's worked before. It causes chaos. If you can thrive in chaos, you can win football matches.
I mean, we played abysmally against United at Old Trafford in the opening game, and we won the game on a set piece. That's, you know.
To be fair, though, we had India, though, so I think any shot would have probably been a goal.
I don't know, Rory, I don't know what you think about it, but I felt a little bit yesterday that there was a reliance on potentially trying to get success from crossing the ball for Arsenal. And I think that probably comes with having Gyökeres in the side. But I think you had like 30-odd crosses. And I just don't know whether... because you've got him, I think you were trying to force it. Whereas sometimes I think maybe you can change it up a little bit.
We used to do that last season. It is, honestly, it's something that annoys me. If I'm going to complain about things, that's one of the things that annoys me, is that's a bit of one of our like defaults. When we're trying to get a goal, we start spamming crosses. And we did it last season. And we've done it a few times this season. And the thing is, Victor Gyökeres isn't that good. He's not a prolific aerial threat. So it doesn't even make that much sense. But yeah, a lot of the time we do the one where you go back to either Saka or Ødegaard. Obviously, Ødegaard didn't play yesterday, on like the corner of the box.
Yeah.
And then do that kind of lofted. It's a lot better when Saka does it because Ødegaard never puts any sort of whip behind it. But yeah, we do that a lot.
Someone just like to try and get someone to nick it at the back post, like. Or
I think that's where Arteta is way too like percentages based. So he'll know that the percentages are, if you keep putting the ball in the box, eventually it'll drop to you and you'll score. But I'm like, it becomes very, very predictable.
It's too easy.
And when you've got 5 centre backs on the pitch,
do something different.
5.
Please, like,
they had 7. That's 6 centre backs on the pitch.
I lost count.
I was like, he looks around, Pep. Every centre back on the pitch. Come on, help the dads. Yeah. Come on, help the guys.
Surprised Stones made it out there because I'm surprised he didn't get injured. He's a walk-in hospital bed.
Yeah, I don't actually have the stat for completed crosses. I can see Olo saying, but I did see that City had 60 clearances, so it's like double the amount of crosses that were put in.
Let me do this people just because I know Rory has to go, so we can move on from this as well. Tony here is saying this Liverpool's football analysis is genuinely baffling. His football analysis is literally just you didn't score, so just score more. Okay, fair. K-Mac is great.
What? I don't understand that. Liverpool fans' football analysis is genuinely baffling. His football analysis is literally just, you didn't score, just score more.
What?
You were goal down. You were goal down. That's what I'm saying. You were goal down. Do something.
Yeah, but I think the idea is that like Arsenal were trying to.
You brought on
it's
Eze
not just
and Martinelli in like what, the 70th minute? Right.
No.
You guys did have a lot of possession, but
yesterday we bought Eze and Saka on at half time. Then we bought Martinelli on for Timber. Then we bought Van Aerion.
Martinelli. Okay.
But I do think that,
guys, can I tell you guys something? Arsenal had 12 shots against a defensive City team. How is that not trying? I don't. Okay.
Was 3 on target, wasn't it? Was it 3 on target?
Yeah, but because City was defending with 10 players.
3 on
Like,
target.
I remember quite a few of them going like
this?
skied away. They weren't like quality shots.
I'm gonna do this again as well. I'm gonna say.
But
Okay,
this is like, you
go,
know,
I was trying to do something. I wanted to hear what Rory says about this, and because I'm looking at something, I'm comparing this to the City versus Arsenal game last season when Arsenal were 2-1 up. Go ahead, Rory.
Well, when you're playing against a team that's playing like, by the way, we're playing against Man City.
Oh, boo-hoo! We've literally played low block
not a very
all
good Man City
season.
team right
Guys,
now.
let him finish, please.
Imagine you let me finish the sentence so that I could actually make the
Guys,
point I was
let
making.
him finish, please.
The point is, you say Arsenal only had 3 shots on target. Liverpool had 4 shots on target against Burnley and needed a last-minute winner. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. It's difficult to play against the low block, so you might not have many shots on target. That's literally what I'm saying. You had 1 more shot on target against Burnley.
That's like a mid block, not really a low block.
Man.
I don't think we're capable of doing a low block.
What?
Yesterday was a low block.
You were in a
That
low
was more of a
block.
mid block.
Your
Maybe
midfield
that's
line.
just pedantic. Sorry.
No, your midfield line, honestly, was about like in line with the D on the edge of the 18-yard line. Like box.
Didn't we have
you were in a low block.
26 shots against Burnley?
But that's Burnley, not Man City.
But that's the point.
That's
it's not easy.
You had
to
the
have
opportunity
shots on
to
target
you're
against
making.
teams that
You
man
should
the ball.
take us out.
almost-
Guys, one at a time, please, so we can actually hear
There's
you.
a complete difference to what you're saying. Burnley
Mac, I'm
had
trying to check.
one touch in actually, Rio Gigamoa had more touches in the Burnley penalty box than Burnley had in our penalty box the whole game, and he was on the pitch for 3 minutes.
Yeah, but that's what he was brought on to do. He's the type of player that you would
what
in that
you're
moment.
saying.
Yeah, but in that moment,
Mac, let him answer then. Mac, let him answer then the question, please.
honestly, I give up, Mo. I'm not even going to bother.
Let him answer. Let him answer the point.
No, because it's not the first time, is it, Mac? Every time you're on the show, you interrupt people, and this show, all you've done is interrupt. So I'm not going to bother.
I don't really have anything to say about Liverpool, so I'm a little bit like.
We're gonna speak on Liverpool as well. You're 12 points from 12 points. I'm gonna say this. I am guarantee you. I'm trying to get the stats. I guarantee you, when Man City played Arsenal last year, which is the last thing we're gonna say about this. When Arsenal play in low blocks, I want to see how many shots did City get. If someone from the chat can actually check that for me, I would appreciate it.
Which game? When we played away at them and
hold
on for the 2-0.
10 men down, you played low block. How many shots did they get before they scored? How many shots?
They had 33 shots.
How many on target for them?
11 in total.
Okay. Well, maybe they created more than you then. That's
but again, the reason it actually took them so long to eventually score was, do you not remember, they just kept circling it back to the edge of the box and then having like Ruben Diaz take a long shot. Yeah. That was kind of the tactic, which again, eventually it worked. Well, it didn't come from a long shot, but eventually that worked for them.
Last thing we're going to say about Arsenal and City yesterday, none of them are out of the title race. There is still a lot of games to play. Liverpool are the team to beat.
I think we still are.
But I didn't think City would be in the title race from the start of the season, let alone having taken 7 points.
You said that. You said that plenty of times as well. You said that plenty of times before. Cypher saying Arsenal are 5 points behind, Chelsea 7 points, and City 8 points. Chelsea season got over, and Arsenal City still title challengers. By the way, Chelsea got robbed a win at Brentford already. Yeah, Cypher Blue, I hear you about the referees from Chelsea. But anyway, we're moving on from Arsenal.
There's a whole first half and the team selection in that game that probably didn't deserve or warrant a win, did it? So I think you can say robbed because of that individual decision. But I think if Chelsea had turned up in the first half, there might have been a stronger argument on that. I think Chelsea are out of the title race. I don't think Chelsea are in it at all.
100%. I know, Rory, you got to go. Oh, you've got another half an hour.
I can stay till past.
There is too many talking points left. I really want to fucking move on from Arsenal and the criticism because I've spoken about it a lot. There are two teams to speak about. We spoke about City and how they are and all the setup and Pep Guardiola. Liverpool and Chelsea. Liverpool are playing better now. They still have a nuclear weapon, as Hussam likes to say, which is Isak that hasn't been integrated. Is this the best Liverpool team I've seen for years? By the way,
On
anyone
paper,
can take-
yes.
This
On
to me,
paper,
it's
yes.
Squad-wise,
I don't know.
In
It's
reality,
hard to erase the Salah
no.
from
Okay.
you.
You know, yeah, the reason why I
That's-
ask questions on shows, guys, because I get comments saying,
No,
Mo,
it's
by the
not-
way, we have the
it's not the
best
best
team.
Liverpool
It's
team.
the best team I've seen Liverpool. This is the best team. This is the best team. We have the best
Looks
attack.
like the
blah, blah, blah.
deepest Liverpool team for a while. I always thought Liverpool had a good first 11, but a few key injuries, you have issues. And I think now you look at it and go, a few key injuries, you can just, you could be like City were a few years ago at their peak, where Liverpool got the sort of squad where you got to look at multiple trophies, doing a run in Europe as well as the Premier League. I think in terms of, I'm not saying you have to win them like people say Liverpool got to win everything, but I think you got the squad where you can put out strong teams when you rotate. Whereas in the past, I think if you lose a few key players, it affects most teams. But City did have this maybe edge over certain teams where a couple of injuries. I thought they had a deeper squad. Like first 11 quite similar, but the next sort of 5-10 players, I think City were better. I think Liverpool bridged the gap regarding that one. And I think City dropped off a little bit. So I think Liverpool have the edge, but it depends on how much they prioritise Europe. So I think going back to back in the Premier, like as a Man United fan, I'd usually prioritise the league. I don't know with Liverpool. Obviously, it's difficult, isn't it? Like where do you prioritise? Would you focus on the league if it meant sacrificing the European trophy? As a fan, I probably would because I prefer to beat my rivals, but. It might be a situation where if you do drop off a bit, I'm hoping there is a title race though. I think Liverpool are good, but I don't believe they're unbeatable.
I think Liverpool's team is probably the best in the Premier League right now. Like if you can bring on a Wirtz and an Isak off your bench, then Jesus Christ, like that.
But you don't expect them to be on your bench very often.
That's
do
some
you?
strength there. But for me, like just proven players in the Premier League, I don't think it's the best we've ever had. Like proven players and what they've achieved in the Premier League, but just the talent is unreal that we've got, and we're kind of building for the future as well. So if you look at a lot of the players that we've got, they've got like 5-6 year contracts now, and they could easily do those contracts and still not be over the age of 30, 31. So I think we're just building for the future now. And we've seen an opportunity where there's a lot of teams that are kind of struggling. And there's a couple of teams that have been there or thereabouts, but just not really been able to challenge that much. And we've just seen an opportunity where we've had so much commercial business done, and we've really stepped that up with shirts and also financial side of things, with the fact that we've grown the stadium, that we've seen an opportunity where we should just really invest now and put the cherry on top and strengthen when we're in a position where we're actually won the league. Because last time we bought I think it was Harvey Elliott and Seth Van der Berg, I think it was. Like that was like the only signings that we got when we'd won the league. So the fact that we've just gone and splashed the cash and bought these players, I just think with Arnie Slot, like anything's achievable. Really is. I think we're going for two. We're definitely going for the Champions League and the league. I don't know about the others. Like, I think there'll be like 6 or 7 players that will get changed on Tuesday. Like our under-21s missed like.
Who you're playing? Who you playing?
Southampton.
Yeah, it's like Liverpool will absolutely just not focus on that game, and they will not play the starting 11. Guys, thank you so much for Polygon Gunner for actually supporting the channel. W's for dropping the 50 piece. Really appreciate you supporting the channel. It's an empty even super chat, which is astonishing actually. Just supporting the channel like this. Thank you so much, my friend, for your donation. I know there is some people that we talk about Liverpool and everything. The thing about Liverpool is that there is not a lot to talk about in terms of they're a brilliant team. There's not a lot of controversial points about Liverpool currently, apart from Wirtz, which is I promised everyone that I will not talk about Wirtz until game week 10. I promised that to others. Bro, Sam, the other day we're doing MHF and I fucking got mad and I said I swore I'm not going to talk about Wirtz until game week 10 unless he drops a world-class performance. I'm tired of talking about Wirtz. It's just I don't want to talk about him, to be honest with you. I just don't want to be honest talk about him.
I think it's a difficult one with Liverpool at the moment because you're like the obviously they've got, like you say, arguably the best squad. I certainly think they've got the best starting 11 available.
Yeah,
And then some of the talent they can bring off the bench is obviously ridiculous as well. But the performances haven't been brilliant, but they've got the job done in all of the games. I thought the performance against Atletico Madrid actually was really good. And I think the 2 goals that they conceded there are like...
They're offside, Rory. One of them was
one was offside. One was offside.
I've never seen this. It's not only offside, it's a blatant offside. Like,
yeah,
how are you not calling this back? Was astonishing. It's like UEFA wanted to have the game entertained because Liverpool were so in control. And I'm like,
I honestly think with that situation of like an offside player interfering by blocking the keeper's view, I genuinely just don't think it happens enough for the referees to like know what they actually think the rule is, because it's so inconsistently applied, whether it's in the Prem or UEFA competitions, and none of them can ever really justify the decisions that they make either. So yeah, that was offside, and then the deflected goal. So I think Liverpool should probably.
You know that the second goal was offside as well, right? You know that the second goal was offside as well.
Yeah.
Which is astonishing.
I don't remember.
No. It's a subjective call. They said he didn't obstruct him, while clearly from the angle when he was shooting, Alisson can't see the ball. The guy is on his eye line, and I'm like, how are you not calling it? It was astonishing. Ask Mac how Wirtz so far and compare him with KD.
You mean KDB?
KDH.
Well, if you're trying to compare him with De Bruyne,
No. Hold on. Dewsbury Hall.
This is because of Tobes. Tobes, the Chelsea fan, keeps running this thing that Kiernan Dewsbury Hill's better than Florian Wirtz.
I think I have heard that before. That's funny.
Yeah, cypher, bro. That's not happening. Going to Chelsea, because we don't have a lot of time. Chelsea, and number one, then there is a meltdown from some people that I haven't seen a meltdown before, and it's about Maresca, which is, I didn't see this coming. So a lot of people are saying that it's not his fault, that the board let him down, and he didn't use Gittins, or he didn't use Garnacho in that game. It's proven that he's still in the board. I'm not using the tools you guys are giving me. I'm not convinced. Does he deserve criticism? In the I want to talk about the Man United game. Does he deserve criticism?
Yeah, 100%. He completely nuked the Chelsea attack and panicked off the back of a sending off. All right, losing the goalkeeper sort of can throw the game anyway, but I don't know whether he just believed the game was gone and he just sort of set up to limit how many chances Manchester United might get. I just thought it was incredibly negative. I think he showed his inexperience in that sort of situation. I think probably about 70, 80 minutes on the clock, you probably would look at it and think, if you had something off the bench, or if you hadn't gone so negative off that red card, you might have had a chance to get something out of this game, because opportunities were being presented to Chelsea later on in the game. So, yeah, I definitely don't think he's safe from criticism. I actually think it was...
Was that Palmer injured, or was he just substituted for...
Yeah, no, Palmer was apparently injured. I don't know.
Okay, I think
that injury.
that
injury is worrying, by the way.
It's a groin injury. You guys know that. Groin,
it's
a recurring injury.
It's a groin thing that won't go away. It sounds very much like what Smith Rowe had, and it plagued Smith Rowe for like 3 years until he eventually had surgery on it.
I think Kyle Walker.
That's why we brought in Buenanotti, though, isn't it? So we're all good. No, honestly,
Dan, it's sometimes I look at this Chelsea team and the money you spent, and it's laughable, the options you have.
How many times have we had that conversation, though? Like, it's something.
Yeah, but people fight me for it, not you. But I do other shows.
Can I say from Man United's perspective, before the match, okay, I'm not very confident in my team for obvious reasons, but I thought the weak points of Chelsea's team, I thought before the transfer window, so I was doing a lot of transfer streams, and Chelsea linked every single player anyway, so they came up a lot. I thought you needed to replace, I think you need better centre-backs or better defence as a general point, and a better goalkeeper. And I think what we saw in the first few minutes, okay, the red card's so early, which is great for us, but you don't get to see a lot of how we actually matched up against Chelsea. But I think it was a cross in about the second minute, drops at, I think it was Dorgu's feet. Again, lots of space there. I don't think Chelsea looked a bit vulnerable. And then flick on from Sesko. There's just massive gaps. And like your defence for me seems to be a vulnerability. But every time there's a transfer window, Chelsea seem to be buying more and more attacking players, but almost like just selling attacking players, buying new ones in. I don't know if the quality is going up or whether you're just replacing players with other players. I don't see an upgrade. I think your midfield looks good, but I just don't see I think for me that the weaknesses in your team don't get addressed. I don't know if you agree, or that's just what I'm seeing from a fan. Because I'm looking at it last season, Garnacho had loads of chances against you guys, like loads of chances. Playing out from the back, I think from Chelsea is a weakness. And then Mbeumo, like we're actually able to press a bit this season. And I just thought going into the game, our best chance is press your defence, because I think you try and play it from the back and you lose the ball. We did win it up a couple of times high up the pitch against you. But I think you kind of like, once it went down to 10 men, apart from if Casemiro didn't get sent off, I was thinking a 4-0, 5-0 game.
That wasn't a sending off either, by the way. Like, that was not a yellow card. I'm sorry.
By the way, I've been texted this 2 times. That
I think it's a red card.
Me too, but I've been texted
Well, it's
that
definitely a
we were
booking.
wrong.
That wasn't a yellow card. That
I think it was really.
Then I think what you're missing is that they told me that he actually cleared the ball before touching the opposition.
No, but he had hold of him before he'd cleared the ball.
No. The wrong side of him.
I would talk.
You're
talking about Sanchez.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Casemiro.
That's a red card.
What?
The Sanchez part, I've been texted that Sanchez actually the ball hit his foot and got deflected before he actually touched Mbeumo.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. You can't commit to that action in that minute of the game.
That's crazy, though, isn't it? I think that goalkeeper, are you flying out? There's no control there.
I'm absolutely. Do you know what? I was almost willing to not give him a second chance, but to just sort of see how he could move on after the Club World Cup. I think he had a couple of good performances. I'm so done with him. Like, honestly, I don't think I'm almost gutted it's a 1-match ban. I really feel like he should have had a 3-match ban for that, to be honest with you.
That's amazing.
Wow.
No, because seriously, right, if a player outfield committed that anywhere on the pitch, they would be off straight red. They'd have a 3-match ban. Like, I don't know if because he's a goalkeeper, he's protected in that situation. And they viewed it as
is it because it wasn't clear and obvious or something?
No, they've said it's not
dangerous.
It's just it's just denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, so I would actually Actually, if I've just watched it back, he does. So when Mbeumo flicks it past him, and it does clip the top of Sanchez's foot before Sanchez collides with Mbeumo. The other fact is, Sanchez collides with Mbeumo, studs up above his knee. So actually, he's lucky he's been sent off for denial of a goal scoring opportunity because that's a 1-game ban. If he'd been sent off for a dangerous foul, that would have been a 3-match ban.
That's what I'm saying, Rory. If a player put their foot up that high on any player on the pitch, they would be 3, and I bet it would even be reviewed potentially for more because it would be like
it's like
Cucurella being sent off for the foul on De Ligt in the corner where he dives in. If you see a still, his feet are both off the ground as he hits the ankle.
It's reckless.
Because for me, there's no control there, and I don't think he's playing the ball.
The rain must have been in his eyes if people think he actually attempted to go for the ball on that one as well, because a goalkeeper's so limited in that area of the pitch as well. Like a goalkeeper's first instinct should be to go to the ball with their hands, potentially in their 18-yard box, right? So as soon as he comes out of the box, unless the ball is going to land at his feet and he has a little bit of time or can make that clearance almost unpressured from the attacker, I don't see what he ever thinks he's going to be able to do.
There's every chance, even if he gets to the ball first, that he can't get it anywhere other than playing it straight into
no idea what he was honestly attempting to do.
I think Sanchez is a prime example of where, like, it feels like Chelsea are constantly building for the future, and it's like, when are you going to start building to win now? Because Sanchez was a prime example. You see Donnarumma and the effect he's already had at Man City, where you could just instantly upgrade on Sanchez. And I'm pretty sure Donnarumma's younger than Sanchez anyway, is he not?
Yes, he's 26.
Yeah.
But I made this point, Rory,
but I don't think Donnarumma suits them at all.
I got absolutely slaughtered for the Donnarumma suggestion in the summer. Like, Chelsea fans were not having it in the summer. They did not want him.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think he suits you, by the way. I don't think he suits you.
But also,
me and you, then we had this argument.
I don't understand why Chelsea didn't
we had it before. We're not going to go through the same script again.
I don't know why Chelsea didn't go for Queven Callagher. Like,
because he's not that great either.
I don't
to
think
be
he's
honest
good.
with you.
Or you refuse to pay.
Guys, Mike Maignan is
Yeah.
18 million pounds.
Done.
You
A
refuse to pay
stopgap
what?
for
The extra
18 million
5 mil?
pounds is the ideal situation until you find a
If
young
they even
goal.
Mo,
try to
just
sign
out of
him,
interest,
though?
right? Just out of interest, because I think we need to have this after we've seen him in a City shirt. How on earth does Donnarumma not suit Chelsea but suit City? Because
He doesn't suit City. City change.
I think he'd be fine.
I had
Honestly,
an argument until this moment. Then I had an argument with 4 City fans about Donnarumma, and all of them say the same thing. He misses that simple passes for City. That's why Pep Guardiola is not asking him to play from the back.
Chelsea.
I think
His pass completion is.
Welcome.
The problem is that I can't actually see it. Like that decision of Sanchez to come out, knowing that you're outside of the 18,
But
going for Mbeumo's
Sanchez
leg.
has been misplacing passes this season to the opposition. He just hasn't had an error leading to a goal yet. Like he's been.
If you say
like,
that,
making
I
mistakes.
hear you. He hasn't been himself this
And
season. However,
Donnarumma's a level above. Like you take the sacrifice, don't you, of what he might lack with his feet if it's a tiny bit worse than Sanchez for 10, 20, 30% gain on what he is as a goalkeeper.
I don't go that argument. Actually, Sanchez has been good as a shot stopper this season, right? More than last season. He has saved Chelsea a couple of times this season. But Donnarumma, people say that he's an upgrade. Again, looking at Donnarumma, the goal yesterday, if that was Sanchez in goal for City and he's in no man's land, people would absolutely slaughter him in the media. Donnarumma yesterday didn't have to come out for that goal at all. Not to that extent. It was Martinelli was under pressure. Ake was on his shoulder. It was in his left foot. An experienced goalkeeper should know that you don't come out knowing that Martinelli need to play with his left foot to shoot. That's what he gave Martinelli the choice, the easy choice. Chip me. I'm out there.
It was a really
I want
good
to think
goal.
about it. Imagine if Sanchez is stood there and he was chipped by an opposition player when he didn't need to come out, and Ake already was pushing Martinelli out because he was going left. People would say, "Oh, Sanchez, what are you doing, Sanchez?"
Yeah, but
because it's Donnarumma, it's not.
Sanchez does wouldn't surprise me. I just think there'll be more situations where Donnarumma will keep you in a game than Sanchez, and I think there'll be more moments where Donnarumma wouldn't sort of lose his head or make the sort of level of mistake that Sanchez does, whether he's on the ball or
agree.
not. And then I think in terms of what he's capable of with his feet, I think you can't look. There are times when Sanchez passing unlocks the defense that he's playing against, but most of the time he almost gives them opportunities as well against him. So I just think, as much as it might have cost that much money in wages for Donnarumma, I think it would have been worth Chelsea paying it. However, I think they're of the belief that Mike Penders is probably going to be the future, and he's looked very good, to be fair. If people haven't seen him for,
I wanna. There is a comment that
play,
I was sent. There was a comment that was sent by Olo. You guys know Olo. He does shows with us.
Yeah.
He said it's a very reasonable comment. He said the reasons why Chelsea buy more attackers than defenders. Attackers hold better value.
Yeah.
It's easier to sell for profit than
That's
a defender.
true,
I never thought about it this way. If that is the case,
it's true, but it doesn't. It's not going to win you a title, is it?
That's
that's the whole point. There is a clash. There is a clash, Rory. There. There's a clash.
Rory, this is the thing, right? Is I
They wanna win.
genuinely don't believe that Blueco want I don't know how ambitious they are towards winning a title, because I think if a title was their main priority, you would have seen a different approach to spending that amount of money. Like, look at how Liverpool is spending a huge amount of money. It's a completely different approach.
That's the thing, right? What's the point making that the profit off these players if you then don't use that profit to, for example, pay the extra 5 million for Mike Maignan that you refuse to pay?
Because that's the profit. The profit isn't for the success of the football club; it's for the investors.
Yeah, the investors
in the business, right? So the first level of success for that company is to pay the people that have invested in that company to generate profit on their money. So once they've done that, then if there's money left in the pot, then maybe they can go and look at potentially bringing in someone. I've already seen today that there's rumours that they might look at potentially making Mike Maignan happen. The only thing that frustrates me, right, is like the point you're making, the extra 5-10 million wasn't there in the summer to go and get him in, then the mistakes made, and then it's like, oh, we'll spend it now. but then they could spend 55 million on Gittins, who obviously wasn't going to, and then 40 million on Garnacho. It's 100 million already gone on wingers pretty much, and you haven't addressed, like someone was saying earlier, defensive issues that you had last season, goalkeeping issues you had last season, and probably enough numbers in different areas if you had any injuries. So money
what
is
did you
spent
discuss with Chelsea then? Football or transfers?
Yeah, if we discuss the football, I think
football-wise is something that need to be discussed.
I personally think, and I saw some leaks or rumours about squad selection before the game, and I think Maresca had an idea of how he might set up for that Manchester United game, and I actually think it was almost worrying about how United would play. There was rumours that he might end up playing an extra defender, or you might see Santos start, which sort of led me to believe that he might look at playing wing-backs in the game. And I think with where Manchester United have been this season, I personally wouldn't be too worried about what Manchester United might do. And I'd sort of favour my team to go. And I think as soon as the red card happened, we saw the players come on that were rumoured to have started. We saw those players come on pretty quickly, and him switch to the sort of wing-back approach. And I just think that was probably always in his mind. And as soon as the red card happened, he felt that was the right way to go. And he was worried about Manchester United creating overloads in the wide areas with Chelsea being down to 10 men. And I think
swear to God, then if someone else, if any other manager, after 5 minutes, because of a red card, changed to 5 at the back, took all his attackers out, there would be under a massive criticism.
No, I think he is. I think there's enough people.
Some Chelsea fans don't want to do that.
No, I think Maresca will be scrutinised by people that I think that are in the Chelsea fan base that aren't vocal on social media. I think that's the case. I think the social media fan base of Chelsea.
You're in the stadiums, right? You go to the stadium. How is the feeling about it?
Well, I wasn't at that game. I wasn't away, but I do think they were. Yeah, I do think there's a certain section of the fan base that aren't online, that aren't vocal on social media, that are much more vocal. They were the people making noise last season. They were the people potentially at the protest at times last season, and I think they were heard at times. I think the social media fan base is very protective around Maresca because I think the social media fan base prefers the style of football that Maresca wants his team to play. And I think I'm in the middle. I've been impressed with what Maresca's done in his first season, but I think we need to remember the club's standards and where they should be. I don't think they're high enough at the moment. I think we should be holding Chelsea in higher esteem in terms of just qualifying for Champions League being a massive achievement. And I actually agree with what Jamie Carragher said, that Maresca's done okay, and he has done well, and he's done better than we probably expected. But I do think that with that money spent, you can't deny it's probably not enough in terms of results.
It's not his fault, though. It's not his fault.
No, it's not. It's not his fault. But does he not have a duty as the manager of that squad to turn around and say, "You can't do that"? Like, I'm not gonna. And if you don't like it, they'll sack him like they did with Poch.
They'll sack him. If he's anything in the media, they'll sack him. They'll sack him right away.
I think if you're a respectable football manager, you have to have enough about you to turn around and say, I'm not going into this season without a centre-back. Buy me one.
He was crying for a centre-back.
Mo, imagine someone asked you to do a job and you needed a laptop to do it, but the company wouldn't buy your laptop. You turn around and say, buy me the laptop. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do the job.
You sold like a Portuguese international centre-back. Like you sold a Portuguese international centre-back that had a good loan spell. Like
but I think they viewed that as either a straight opportunity for profit and a relationship that had broken down, and someone who didn't have.
Yeah, he didn't want to play. He didn't want to play.
He didn't want to play for Chelsea anymore.
He said he doesn't want to play for Chelsea again.
The thing with Chelsea, and it's really funny because the Manchester United fan said it, is you've literally not addressed your problems. Like you've literally just thrown all your money in your forwards. Like wingers, forwards, there's where all the money goes. When your goalie and your defence have been your problem for a long time. Like your XG last season against was probably the reason why you didn't do as well.
Best defence in the league.
You conceded too many goals.
So I think we had the third best defence in the league last season.
Colwell played a massive factor then. I remember me and you were saying this.
I think that stat on its own probably led to a false sense of security in terms of the people who are in charge of recruitment at Chelsea, and I think they probably believe that other players. I just
going what I saw in games.
They definitely weren't going off what they saw in games because I think if you watched the games, you would have saw you. If you watched the games last season, you would have seen time and time again where our centre-backs weren't able to win a header. And it ultimately led to that red card at the weekend because Chalobah was contesting Sesko, didn't win his
to be
header.
fair, though, Sesko,
Wasn't the first
you're not
time
gonna
I've seen Chalobah do that, though.
Yeah,
So that's
Sesko's
such an
gonna
interesting
be
one, right? Because
ridiculous,
Chalobah was
yeah.
part of the bomb squad the season before. So he was part of the bomb squad, was never going to be anything to do with Chelsea again. Then you got a couple of injuries, then he comes back, and now he's being relied on as a starting centre-back.
Yeah, but Rory, have a guess why? Because he's more valuable playing for Chelsea than being in that bomb squad, right? So,
it's just money, right? But
yeah,
I mean,
this is ridiculous. I swear to God, I've never seen a club run like this in my life, bro.
No, it's insane. The one I actually find the most confusing, or not the most confusing, but like selling Madueke for the exact same price that you bought Gittins for is like, it's a complete sideways step. I don't think Gittins is any better than Madueke from what I've seen so far.
No, he's way worse, Rory.
Arguably worse. I didn't want to be that guy, but arguably worse.
How much do you get this cost?
Mervyn are good at pulling people's pants down.
I was trying to be nice. But the point is, it's not even if it is a sideways step in terms of ability, you're taking a guy that's had 18 months of Premier League experience and developed at the club to a guy that's got to do it from fresh. And I don't know if Maresca wanted to make that change from Madueke to Gittins, but if he didn't, it must be so frustrating going, oh God, I've just spent a year trying to develop this guy, and now he's gone, and I've got to spend a year trying to develop another guy and another guy. And it's like,
then they would sell him.
And then exactly.
That was my point. Do Chelsea improve? Can I just ask a question specific about the weekend?
Last question.
10 versus 11, but when it's 10 versus 10, were you not expecting more from Chelsea in the second half? Because I was thinking
they did well.
I think they did well. I think I couldn't expect more from. I couldn't expect more from Chelsea because Maresca had already faltered at that minute when he panicked and removed the best players on the pitch in terms of, probably I feel like Esteval and Neto would have been the sort of players you wanted on the pitch when you went 10 to 10 and he took them off. A lot of people
at least one of them, Dan. At least one of them.
Some sort of threat. Because I'm a Man United fan. You know, Manchester United, if you get one goal, we'll probably crumble. So I was just thinking, like, as soon as Palmer goes off and like your other forward player goes off, I'm thinking this is a good day. And when Casemiro got sent off, I was expecting massive pressure, and I thought
peppering the Chelsea, the Man United.
Well, okay, how many shots did you get? But Bayern didn't save a thing, did he? That was one shot that went in, wasn't it? Did Bayern save anything?
Bye, guys.
Yeah, Rory. I'm not entirely sure what the numbers were on that, but what I would say is that if I knew going into that game that Cole Palmer was at 60-70%, and then we got a red card, my first thought straight away would have been, right, the team are automatically under more stress. And we're going to be having to work a lot harder off the ball. Let me take off my injured player. Now, he would have got a lot of stick for taking off Cole Palmer, but if it sort of transpired that he wasn't 100% fit, I think people could have understood why he come off. And I still think there were players left in the team, but he ended up within 20 minutes of a red card, having Palmer, Neto, and Esteval, probably our three attacking players that you'd favour in that sort of game.
And a message for not even 10 versus 10 subbing Garnacho nor Gittins. It's like, I am not using these guys today.
Well, he was going to bring Garnacho on, but apparently then Fofana said, I'm tired, so he had to come off. To be honest with you, if Palmer wasn't injured, and I'm being serious here, if Palmer wasn't injured and Sanchez got the red card, Fofana is probably the player I would have taken off. Even though I think he had a good game, I think with his injury history and what you could have done with the team there, I think you could have probably brought on Tosin, kept a back four, moved a couple of players around, but kept runners on the pitch in case you need to counter-attack. I just think he left João Pedro completely stranded. I have to praise, actually, because I think João Pedro
he almost got injured, though, which is a mistake from a manager.
Right? And I think that happened by leaving him stranded. I think put him in situations where that could happen. So, I disappointed in Maresca, and I think he deserves criticism.
Yeah, Pep with the low block game against Arsenal is preparing for the game against Liverpool. He learned from Burnley. Alex, we'll see, Alex. Well, listen, people, to be honest with you,
susceptible to low blocks.
Chelsea play an easy game. I think next weekend is absolutely crucial for the Premier League in terms of where we're going to put the teams. Because Chelsea play Brighton at home. That is a tricky game for Chelsea. Very tricky for Chelsea.
Got Liverpool afterwards.
Yes. No, in Liverpool play Crystal Palace away. I don't know if you got Liverpool after.
Chelsea got Liverpool after Brighton.
Yeah.
They have. Yeah, Chelsea haven't even played anyone like they've been playing any Big Six teams yet.
That's why I expected Chelsea to be top of the table before they face Liverpool.
Yeah, they had a pretty nice
we
start
can go
to the
back
season.
to back for the
Yeah,
first time in
don't
about
tell me
18
I'm
months.
naive, Dan, when I'm like going off what happened at the end of last season where you were the second best team in the country and you won the Club World Cup.
Okay, so then you have to
And
go,
you had a
and
pretty
I hear what
easy
you're saying,
start.
but you have to go a little bit deeper into that, is that maybe Arsenal took their foot off the gas, and I think they probably rightfully own that spot in terms of being the second best team in the country, but I think they took their foot off, especially in the Premier League. And
Yeah,
I think
I'm factoring the easy start then.
I think they do. I think off the
Liverpool.
back of last season, Arsenal probably still just are in front of City. I think City will put themselves ahead of Chelsea for sure going into the start of the season, though. I think the reason Chelsea had that sort of hype around them going into the season was because of what they did in one game against PSG. I don't believe it was the whole Club World Cup run, to be honest. I think we were okay, but I don't think we were unbelievable. We got tested against Brazilian teams, and we didn't look amazing. Benfica as well. That game obviously was a bit hectic, but at the same time, I don't think we looked unbelievable in that game. That PSG game was almost an anomaly in that tournament, to be honest with you.
Alex, just to respond to you, by the way, City play Liverpool in November, so he doesn't by that time.
PSG were burnt out. PSG were burnt out as well.
But anyway, guys, go ahead, Dan. Finish the point. I want you to finish the point. Sorry.
I think with the end of the season, the way Chelsea played, I think Maresca he almost went away from his style a little bit to make sure that we got results. And I think there's going back into the start of the season, he's probably moved back towards his style.
How me and you are seeing the same things?
Because it's what's happening on the pitch.
I keep saying this, but people actually say that I'm deluded.
The same stuff because it's what's happening on the pitch, and I think we view the game in a similar way.
Like I keep telling people on shows that I see the same mistakes of the fault in the system and the failures in that dip happening in the beginning of the season, instead of having a continuation of how you played at the end of last season. And people are like, no, you're so harsh. And I'm like, but I'm watching the games and I'm seeing the same things.
Yeah.
But people don't want to see it. And I thought he moved away.
No, I think they don't want to say it. I just think, personally, I think sometimes the game's observed with like a real biased hat on. And I think actually you're probably watching it from a neutral point of view, and I watch it in a way where I observe the game rather than my emotions when I can. And I think that's what's happening on the pitch. And I think most people watching it in that sort of similar place will find the same outcomes, the same results. That they're there.
Yeah, fair enough, guys.
Do you think they'll sack him then?
No, only because of the history of how. The only reason I think they'll sack him, and I genuinely think it will be on Champions League performances. If we're humiliated throughout the Champions League, they'll believe that he isn't at that level. But I think financially, the difference between sort of Champions League football or where you sort of finish in the Premier League is like a guaranteed income, isn't it? So
I think about the income, though.
It is for this club, though, currently.
Yeah.
All right. To be fair, though, not getting Champions League football, you lose out. I think if Chelsea are way outside of the Champions League places at Christmas, the conversation might be slightly different. Came out, to be honest.
It's like a Glazer thing, isn't it? Man United used to sack the manager when top four wasn't achievable under the Glazers. I think recently they tried to do something slightly different, but it was pretty much like Van Gaal finished sixth, won the FA Cup, sacked, no Champions League money. It's kind of like an arbitrary cut off.
Do you think Amarin will get sacked? Do you think Amarin will get sacked?
Yeah, I showed yesterday. Last week, actually, I said I think the decision's been made. I think they want to give him time because I think they want to distance themselves from things the Glazers done, and I think there's more of a long-term plan. I think it looks a bit. Maybe Chelsea fans, good person to ask, because when I'm doing like transfer streams and talking about Manchester United, I think it's a good thing that we're going for younger players. Like people like Yoro, for example, got Aiden Heaven. They got gradually getting younger players. We're linked to players. Okay, maybe unrealistic, but we're linked to like Bleber, Wharton, or Anderson. Younger players basically to replace Casemiro and replace Bruno Fernandes. And just for me, the transfer policy has improved. Two of our best players at the moment were signed last season in De Ligt and Mazraoui. Very consistent, really good performance from Mazraoui against you guys. But a few fans are actually, when I do streams, I talk about transfers, they do say, are we just copying the Chelsea model? Or are we just going to buy players young, sell them for profit? And that's something Manchester United, historically, it's not about that, is it? Like Ronaldo left because he wanted to leave. He got a big transfer fee, and Rooney, we kept him for his career. The idea is that Manchester United fans, if we buy young, we keep them for a decade, 15 years. That's the plan.
Do you
in
think
my
you're
mind.
buying? So on that point, then, do you think you're buying a different level of ability for a youngster? Because I think Lenny Yoro, there was a reason he was like in conversation with Real Madrid, because he is that good, and I think he took a little bit,
it's top
and
quality,
now we're seeing
really
the level, right? I think Manchester United have always bought young talent, but it's the best of the best. Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, you could probably name 10 others. And I think you have to sort of work. I think Chelsea are buying players just below the top who they believe they can develop and generate money on. And I think you've got to decide whether or not you think that player is the best in his position at his age or in the top 5, or is he just below? And I think you'll find whether or not you're going to sell that player on for more or not. Because I look
looking at like Yoro, I don't think you make profit on because it's quite pricey. And I think with United, if we're looking at Belieber, you don't buy him.
And how many players of Yoro's age
Euro
are
class,
of his ability? Right, I think Yoro at his age is one of the best centre backs in the world. At his age, like he's not one of the best in the world.
That's the thing, isn't it? If you buy a player that's 2021, yeah, I think we're saying the same thing. If you buy a player that's 2021, and he's going to be probably maybe comparable to next season to a 23, 24-year-old. But when that player is 23, 24, and we can see the trajectory of Yoro, he's going to be in that category of like world class. That's the hope. There's no guarantee, but if Manchester United make more of those transfers each season, like and also like Staffy's right, he's going to be. I don't think we're going to sell him for profit, but if
he will never be worth 100 million playing for Man United.
I actually already think he is worth 100
after he leaves.
No. But the problem is then if Yoro plays for Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, maybe the fact that you play for Man United and you're on a losing side more times than not, that's where your value doesn't go up because you're not.
The one thing I'll say, right? The one thing, Mo, just on that is
next season, Yoro will be in the bomb squad because he'll want to leave.
No.
Also,
but the one thing is though with Manchester United is Yoro's getting
so. Let me hear.
Yoro is getting so many defensive actions by playing in this Manchester United team that you're seeing what he can do in those situations.
3 at the back, big problem.
Yeah, I think that will raise his value, though. I think Yoro's value has gone up since he joined United.
Yes, of course it did.
And how much was he? 60.
He paid 40 million for him.
40. Okay, he's probably 60.
It must have been like significant add-ons. I think it was like 60-ish something, or maybe 50
to
60.
60 with that. Okay.
Guys, go ahead.
I don't remember where you came from.
I'll say it depends. The price gets. When it's Man United, sometimes the price gets quoted with the add-ons in euros to make it look more. But I think it's going to be, it's probably not going to be cheap, right? But it's going to be.
I know that
for me. Yeah, I think you could have spent cheaper, but you get a lower quality player. And I think United are looking at if they're going to spend big, they're going for as much a guarantee as possible, like Mbeumo, Cunha. And if we're going to go cheaper, we are going to be going down like, let's say Leon was like 5 million, I think, and Aiden Heaven, Chido Obi like almost free. So I think we're doing a mixture of speculative buys where they're quite cheap, and like Dorgu's kind of somewhere in the middle, and we're actually putting everyone's on a lower salary than they used to be. So I was just wondering whether Chelsea fan sees Manchester United is actually trying to build, and I do agree with the Liverpool fan. When you get people like Yoro, you got to make sure the team's good enough for them to stick around. So I know Mo was saying if Manchester United losing, the idea is going to be that United have got to have this aggressive transfer policy, but also Yoro is going to be. Manchester United, okay, I can't say too many positives, but we got a win against Chelsea. If we build on this and actually improve, I think we've got more quality on our team. I think it's about actually trying to build around that because we've taken a really brutal way in terms of trying to do now, if you look at our rebuild, it's pretty much we got rid of loads of players without replacing them to start with. Like Rashford, you could argue about his qualities, but we know that he's a big game player and he's a massive goal threat, and we didn't replace him. And we've taken a way which effectively made our team. The rebuild had to be done, but it's kind of messy, isn't it? We didn't bring players in first. We just axed loads of players, had a limited squad last season, gambled on the Europa League, and I think the 15th doesn't represent the quality of the squad. That's my view. Okay, we can disagree, but I don't think we're the 15th best squad in the Premier League. I think we're somewhere like Europa League. So I think we'll see him. Maybe we'll surprise people this season. So Man United fans are still telling me we're going to finish 12th. I think we finish like Europa League's got to be the target, or Amrin's gone.
Just quickly, do you think you can do that with Amrin in charge, or do you think he needs to go ASAP and you bring someone in?
It's really difficult, isn't it?
What
Gareth
is
Cole.
it's
I
the
think
impossible
it's so-
question.
I think
That's
it's
the
so
impossible
obvious.
question.
No,
It's
no,
really
I actually don't
difficult
think it is. I
because-
think it is so obvious. I think it's so obvious Amorim needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who would you
100%,
replace him
yeah.
with? What
Do you know
would be
do
the
I
best
think about
replacement for
Amarin? Like,
Amarin?
I think with
Doesn't
Amarin,
matter, Kelk, at some point. Doesn't
it's
matter.
almost
I mean,
like
he's not-
Barada's made the
he's
I think if
call.
they had Glasner,
big.
they'd be very dangerous.
Yeah,
You know, but I think
Glasner,
Manchester
Glasner
Nuno,
would
they'd
be
be
very
better with that
dangerous at
system.
Man United. I think that would
Raola.
turn
One
them
thing though
around
that it
quickly.
seems obvious, but Jim Radcliffe, Barada, they don't want to admit they've made a mistake. So I think they want to see. It's almost like I get the feeling Manchester United want to get enough results to January to then get something in January, which helps us get to the next transfer window. It feels like we almost need to buy him a new team. That's what I'm thinking, which I think for me is a massive,
Yeah.
a massive concern.
I'll tell you what. In all fairness to him, the one thing I do think he needs is a new midfield, and I think ultimately, he probably needed Bruno to leave as well.
Yeah,
That
and
100
you
million
guys
could have been spent
potentially have
somewhere
a-
else.
Yeah, 100 million. That
Rebuilds
that
the
could have gone a
midfield
long
and
way towards a
removes
rebuild.
his biggest issue because he can't not put him in the team. But I genuinely don't think he fits the team anymore in terms of how Amarim's going to
The
set it up.
tactics, yeah, 100% the
Yeah.
tactics.
I
Is
think
this
it's
you
really
really
ain't
turn
true.
building-
back too?
People
can't.
really believe you ain't building nothing from that Chelsea game, period. Yeah,
Oh no, they are. No, that's harsh. That's harsh because
Manchester United have got Kobe Mainoo. Okay, absolutely unbelievable player. Okay, he really is. But now he's the bomb squad. Yeah, so they don't want him now. And
there's
Ugarte,
Yeah, I'm kind of in the minority. I quite like Mainoo.
is he in the bomb squad?
Manager
though?
is
I
the
don't know if he's in the
problem.
bomb
Not the
squad.
players. Manager.
he's not in the bomb squad, but he's the outside.
I've
Dan,
never heard the
he
term.
doesn't use him.
Manager is the
He doesn't
problem.
use
Yeah,
him.
I know he doesn't
how
use
can
him,
you
and
sit
he's
down on
obviously
the
got
bench?
his favourites, but I don't think he's in the
Yeah.
bomb squad.
Yeah,
Too
guys,
great.
I need
I
to,
remember
I need to, I need to,
Guardiola
I
wants
need to just for this time because I need to go because I have another 15 minutes. So I need to, guys, go and support. Click the link is pinned, guys, in the chat. So go and try vote for the best new content creator. So vote for me. So I'm trying to win, guys. So all the people in the chat, I want to see you guys. Click on that link. It's pinned. And then go support. But also all the guys, K-Mac channel in the description, Rich's channel in the description, absolutely brilliant content. Dan channel in the description, True City Fan and Rory's channel in the description as well. Go support all the guys donating their times, absolutely brilliant. Actually, this conversation has been better than what I expected, to be honest. It's just because people lost interest in the league, apparently. But guys, go support the guys and go vote for me, best new content creator out there. And I will see you guys later. I will see you guys on MHF in actually 15 minutes. So I need to go have coffee and
5
maybe
and
eat
5.
something. Yes, I will see you guys later. Where are you people?